Today, Carson and I are going to predict our breakout player for this 2025-26 Kentucky basketball team. And let's just say Carson and I have a bold take on this player, and we'll tell you who it is on today's episode of the Wildcats Today Podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Stefaniak, publisher over at Kentucky Wildcats on SI. Joined, as always, by Carson Nash. Carson, it sounds like y'all are heading up to Zach Brown Band tomorrow. And you've told me that they're pretty darn good in concert. So what are your thoughts on that? Is that the case?
Yeah, I'm super excited. Me, my dad, and JP and Brent are all going up there to watch some ZBB. I loved them last time we saw them in concert. They like to go off script a little bit. They'll do classics. They won't do their own songs all the time. I mean, they're great. They're a rock band, country band, everything you want them to be. So I'm super stoked. I'm gonna be knee deep tomorrow night.
Yeah, I am a big Zach Brown Band fan for sure. But Carson, let's get right into it. I mean, our player that we're about to talk about, he's 6'8" with about a 7'2" wingspan. I've seen 7-foot wingspan. He is going to be a sophomore. He's got the handle of a guard. He shoots over 40% on 4.6 attempts per game. And I think he's going to be an absolute star for the Kentucky Wildcats. Carson Nash, who is that player?
That is none other than Tulane's finest, Kam Williams. And he is an absolute stud. Mm-hmm. And everyone's might question that from us. Oh, he only averaged 9.3 points, only 4.5 rebounds, blah, blah, blah. He only had a 12.2 usage rate at Tulane. Comparative to Kobe Brea's 16.8 usage rate for us this past season, I think you're going to see Kam Williams take a step into his game, and Mark Pope's going to use him way more than what Tulane was thinking. I don't know what Tulane was thinking. I know we've talked about this before, but that was not the smartest decision by Coach over there.
I mean, there's a good chance that Kam Williams starts for this team. It's not going to be handed to him. He's going to have to fight through Denzel Aberdeen and Jasper Johnson. One of those three guys is going to start alongside Owe and Jalen Lowe. But Kam Williams, and I know that people get annoyed by the term NBA upside because we're tired of that. But, I mean, the kid is literally the definition of NBA upside. He just has the intangibles to be a star this year for Kentucky. Like I said, I mean, once again, 6'8" with a 7-foot wingspan. He can shoot the three ball at an over 40% clip. He did that on 4.6 attempts per game. He can rebound the ball. He can pass the ball. He can dribble. He can get to the rim. He blocks shots. This kid is going to have I just say this, maybe he's not starting game one. This kid's going to be starting by SEC play. It's just turn on the film and tell me this kid's not a stud. You can't do it.
100%. I mean, and my favorite thing about him, too, is probably his defensive side of the ball. Mm-hmm. He's a freak defensively, and he's very versatile. And, you know, the term I came up with a while ago, I like defensive diversity, you know, guard multiple positions. And I think he can guard the 1 through 4 because of him being 6'8" and having a 7'2" wingspan. You can guard bigs, but he's also quick enough to guard guards and make them wreak havoc on guards because he's so long. So that's what really excites me with him. And another fun fact is he has 17 made threes from 25 feet plus, which is Steph Curry numbers. That's insane.
Mm-hmm. I mean, 9.3 points, 4.5 rebounds, 1.3 assists, 1.1 blocks, 1.4 steals per game. Talk about filling up a stat sheet. And he shoots 48.5% from the field on the season on 7 field goal attempts per game, 4.6 threes per game. I mean, the kid truly is. He can score around the rim, and he can make a mid-range jump shot. Is that his calling card? No. Is getting to the rim. His calling card is shooting the three ball. That is his calling card. He can score from anywhere on the court. I would consider him a up-and-coming 3-level scorer who is currently more of a deep threat.
Yeah, and you want to hear what the stat that backs that? He's 80th percentile in the ball screen as the handler. So as the ball handler, he's 80th percentile, which definitely can get better. But as a 6'8" guy, I mean, that's huge that you can be as good as he is in the ball screen with the ball.
Now, there's one problem, Carson. You know what that problem is? Jasper Johnson is really good. Denzel Aberdeen is really good.
Good problems to have. I love those problems.
When I say that these are problems, I don't know if they're really problems. You get what I'm saying here.
Yeah.
They are problems. But it's, it's funny because like if you take a pool of BBN, you're going to get 33% of people saying they love Jasper Johnson, 33% of people saying they love Denzel Aberdeen, and 33% of people saying they love Kam Williams. I'd probably be closer like 40, 40, and 20 with Kam Williams being the 20. And I'll tell you this, I wanted to ask in that press conference about Kam Williams, and I just never was able to get a word. I'm telling you, the media doesn't know about this kid is going to come from nowhere and be a star. People aren't talking enough about Kam Williams. They just aren't. I write an article a day on my website, Kentucky Wildcats on SI, about, in essence, I can find 400 different ways to tell you this kid's going to be a star. I have never been more bought in on a player just based off of upside and everything that he possesses. I mean, Carson, everything. My favorite type of player is a player that can do everything on the floor. And Kam Williams is the definition of that. Anything you need or want him to do on the floor, defend, shoot, get to the rim, block shots, pass, get steals. He can do it all while guarding the 1 through 4, making shots at a high volume. He's just going to be a great player.
100%. And the thing, I always look at strengths and then weaknesses for players. So the weaknesses, I really couldn't find much. The only thing I really looked at was maybe physicality could be somewhat of an issue, because coming from what are they in the American Athletic Conference? Yeah. And so coming from the AAC into the SEC, it's going to be a different change. So that's one thing I would watch, but I really don't think it's going to be that much of an issue with him as long as he's not banging down low, which he's not going to be anyways.
Exactly. But I'll tell you this. I think folks at times get, and I do it, Carson, you do it, everybody does it. Every basketball fan does it. When a player is able to do something that generally their position wouldn't do or their size wouldn't do. Whenever we see a 7-foot kid that can shoot threes, the world ends. We're so, you know what I mean? When players do. So when you see a 6'8" and then you find out he's got a guard's handle and can shoot the ball, what I'm saying is people are quick to go, oh my gosh, oh, this dude, but he actually is that good. It's not like he made 1 3 in a highlight tape once, and we're trying to tell y'all that he's a lights out, knockdown shooter. This kid just is a knockdown shooter that can play the 3, the 2, 3, 4. Seriously, I think you could play him at. I mean, I don't think that'll happen, but you could play him at the 4 in a lineup if you wanted to.
I can remember having an eerily similar conversation last year about a certain player that we're actually talking about next and his combine status.
Yeah. Exactly. I just this Kam Williams kid, and also I think the other thing that frustrates me, we're at 9.3 points. It's not like the dude averaged 2 points. He almost averaged 10 points a game, and the usage rate was low. His shooting percentages were elite.
Yeah,
and it's not like he was never out there. He wasn't shooting the ball. I don't want to have to rewatch every one of Tulane's games, but like I've watched a lot of Kam Williams tape. I mean, if I'm ever having a bad day, I just put that on the TV. It really, it's a mood booster. I'll tell you that. And I recommend that. Therapy, don't need it. Kam Williams highlights, do that. Wildcats Today approved. Stamp.
Best one is the rewatch the 2012 championship.
Yeah.
If you're ever feeling down.
Seriously. Or watch the Reds beating the White Sox today, because that made me feel good.
Hopefully.
No, they did. They won. It was this morning.
Oh, they did? They won yesterday?
Yeah, no, not yesterday. They lost the series, but they won the finale. Which is all that matters. Hey, don't get swept, right? By the worst team in baseball. Just don't get swept.
2 out of 3 to a team that's not too hot is not the best.
Nah, I thought it went well for us. But kind of what speaking of went well, what went well? Rocket League championship last night.
Oh, champs.
I'm sure there's a lot of folks that, if you don't know what Rocket League is, it's a stupid video game, but we won the championship last night. Shout out Boff, carried us, and it was pretty amazing. So we're getting trophies made. Working on that. But so Carson, back to this conversation with Kam Williams. I just think that he, I think that his shooting, let's say he does come off the bench and has the similar type of volume, right? Averages about 10 points, shooting about 50% from the field, 42% from 3, a couple blocks, couple steals, handful of rebounds, assists. Like, as a role player for this team, that would be huge for us. And then think about a junior year, Kam Williams. If he can do that, average 8 to 10 points, 4 to 5 rebounds, 1 to 2 assists, a block, and a steal per game this year, and then he comes back for his junior year, we're looking at a new Otega Oweh, or like a new star player that could be like an SEC player of the year type of front runner. I
think he has more upside than Otega.
I do. Oh yeah. I mean, seriously. I'll just tell you this. I mean, anybody that watches NBA, this kid's an NBA player, and I know that people get annoyed. Kentucky.
I mean, just go watch the tape for 5 minutes, and you can see that he's an NBA player.
Seriously, and I can't believe. I'm glad that we got him as early. If y'all remember, he committed the day of the Sweet 16 game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that that didn't get drawn out, because I just think I think this kid's going to be one. No one's, and I literally wrote this in an article, I think 2 or 3 days ago. No one is going to know Kam Williams' name
because he committed so early.
Kentucky fan. No, I'm saying if you're not a Kentucky fan, it's not like, you ask a random fan base, they're going to know who Jaden Quaintance is if they, know basketball a little bit. They're going to know who Jalen Lowe, they're going to know these players. No one's going to know who Kam Williams is. And they're going to turn on the game and go, who in the hell is that 7-foot guy draining threes out there? I mean, my gosh. And he's got this. So he is the Wildcats Today official our guy of the year.
Lock it in.
Yeah, lock it in. Kam Williams is our player. So, I mean, when you talk about role, Carson, you predict him to be a starter. I think that, honestly, the only interesting battle when it comes to starters, personally, I'm now all in on Mo D starting at 4.
It's going to be interesting to see how he does it on it. Last year we didn't have this problem, I don't think. We have so many weapons that could play so many positions.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see how he does it. I mean, your point guard, your shooting guard if Otega comes back. And then from then on, BG will probably start at center to begin the season because JQ will be rehabbing still. But other than that, you don't really know.
Well, I mean, I think when JQ's 100%, Low, Oweh, and JQ are and then the other 2 spots, the 4, maybe they try BG, there with Jelovich and Mo D. Maybe they keep BG at 5. And then it's Aberdeen, Jasper, and Kam Williams at that other backcourt spot. Those are the ones that could go. I could give you a hour-long talk about why Jasper, Denzel Aberdeen, and Kam Williams should all start. I could do it right now. I could give an hour-long TED talk for all why.
Well, and I was going to say too. I mean, we could be having this conversation about a couple different players, right? I mean, I would also put Colin Chandler on this list because I think second-year Colin Chandler is going to break out. We saw it at the end of the season how good he looked. I also think BG has a chance to become something way better than what he's been. He can knock down shots from deep. If he can start handling the ball a little better, start being a little smarter of a player, which will come with time, I think he will increase. So, I mean, this could have gone to a lot of different guys. I just feel very confident about Kam Williams breaking out.
It frustrates me that people aren't talking about Kam Williams. I don't get it. I don't get how you watch the film on this kid and say to yourself, and don't say to yourself, this kid's a star in the making. I don't know how it's possible. He's going to be a monster this year for the Kentucky Wildcats. And when we say monster, he's going to play into his role. If he's coming off the bench, monster for him would be 10 points a game, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, a block and a steal. That would be a monster role for a guy playing, 17 minutes off the bench. That could happen. But I think if he's a starter, I think he averages 12 points, maybe 13. I really do. I think that he has a chance to be up there with Lowe and Oweh. Obviously Oweh, and I think he's got to has a chance to kind of be there around Lowe.
If you look at the tape, what I love about him is he's better with the ball than Kobe Brea was, but he is also almost as good as Kobe Brea was in the zoom handoff. Like he can get a zoom handoff and go straight up with it. Like he is unreal. His trigger is so quick. He can shoot over anybody. He's going to be a joy to watch.
Oh, I agree. I'm fully with you. I'll tell you what, Bryson DeChambeau needs to tighten it up right now. +1 through 6.
Bryce ain't breaking 50 today.
I put $10 on him to be the round 1 leader to win 220, and he's +1 through 6. He's got to get to 5 under. Don't think that's going to happen. What a bum. Where's Justin Thomas? Where's our Kentuckian? Is JT at least playing well? Doesn't look like it. I'm still scrolling, and I am not seeing JT. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Yeah, I don't think it's going well for Justin Thomas. Good thing I had to bet on him to win. So any other thoughts on Kam Williams, Carson, before we talk a little bit about Mr. Otega-Oweh?
No, that's all I got. Like I said, that could have gone to a bunch of different guys. So don't think we're just choosing one over the others. But we just feel that he's going to take probably the biggest leap out of the few.
Yeah. JT's 3 over through 8. That is not going to fly.
Sounds like me on Saturday, last Saturday.
Yeah, I heard that did not go well for you. But so Oweh, Carson, I've heard a lot of folks being harsh on the way he played. I don't get that.
I don't get that at all.
He could have, yes, he could have played better, but like if this is like elite, this is bad, this is good. I think he was on that good to pretty, like he was.
I agree.
On the field. He was tipping balls. He was getting, I don't know what more you could ask for.
He had a +15. He had 10 points. He shot 50% from the field. He played great defense. Really good defense.
Suffocating.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know how people are looking at that and saying, man, he didn't play very good.
No, I mean, that might just be like the wishful thinking of like.
I mean, he had 2 steals, 3 assists.
Yeah.
I mean, he only played 20 minutes.
That could be the wishful thinking of like, we need to get him back or something.
It could be.
But I don't think you need.
Well, did you see the clip of him? They interviewed him on the court where he's talking about Kentucky.
He's coming back to Kentucky. I don't.
Did you see how he smiled after they say he was like, Big Blue Nation's waiting on their seats to hear from you, and he just the biggest smile ever came out.
He's coming back. I'm not worried about it at all.
No.
Now the SEC though as a whole. So, did you see LeBaron Philon?
Yeah, heck yeah, the run is over.
Yeah, I think that's it for Bama. And now I'll tell you this: that can get scary. Waiting on players in the draft. We've gotten lucky here because I think always coming back. But like, I think I'll tell you this: Alabama, both the Alabama schools, I think are going to be bad next year because of this process. Because I think that Pettiford's going to stay in the draft, and we know Philon's staying in the draft.
And there's a guy that I think is going to stay in that we wanted to get.
Who? Yaxel?
Yaxel.
Yeah, but he's at Michigan. I don't really care much.
I know, but I'm just saying it hurts a lot of teams.
Yes, it would have hurt us if he was committed to us right now.
That's what I'm saying. It would have killed us.
But I'm telling you, the SEC, I actually just wrote an article about that too. I think the SEC, we're still going to be a double-digit bid team. We're going to be a double-digit.
Did the solar eclipse just happen, or what's going on there?
Seriously. Yeah, no kidding. But we're going to be, the SEC is going to be a double-digit bid team in the NCAA tournament, but it's not going to be what it was last year. You know, it's not going to be that. No. It's going to be good.
I mean, that was the best conference of all time.
Seriously. So it's going to be good, but it's not going to be as good as it was last year. And I think that the reason that's going to be, I think Florida is going to be good, but not as good. Auburn and Bama are going to be okay, but not as good as they were. I think those 3 teams that were the top dogs are going to take step backs, and I think they're going to say move out of the way because Kentucky's back to being the top dog where they should be.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. So yeah, I think this. I mean, if you're wanting to hang banners when it comes to SEC tournament, SEC regular season stuff, which I know we didn't care about for a while, I kind of want to win one again. We haven't won one forever.
I want to win in Nashville. I would love to win in Nashville.
That would be a lot of fun. We'll be there. We'll be there again. Falling over on families of 4.
I can't imagine making it to Sunday. We haven't gotten to experience that yet.
No. Well, I'll tell you what, we barely did make it to Sunday.
What I'm saying is having to get up and get ready for that Sunday game.
Yeah, no kidding. But so yeah, I think that always. I'm not worried about it at all. I'm now at 99.999427% confident he's coming back. I'm from 99 up to 99.9 pie numbers behind it to confidence.
I knew you're going pie. I knew it. I knew you were going to say pie.
Always pie. 3.14.
Speaking of pie, what about the situation up north? Sorry. But Ali Khalifa was deemed ineligible by the NCAA because he used 2 waivers of red shirt on his on his career. So he's not going to be playing for the Louisville Cardinals next season.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's the first time I've ever broken in our year and a half of doing this. That's the best joke in Wildcats Today history. Oh. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm back. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, Carson. I don't know anything about the situation. So will you expand on? I really don't. I don't know
So what they're saying basically is that he took a redshirt year at Charlotte before BYU. And so he wouldn't technically be able to get a second redshirt unless it was a medical redshirt. And the NCAA is saying that he was actually able to play last year because the injury wasn't as bad as Louisville stated it was. So they're deeming him ineligible because he doesn't have any eligibility left. He should have played last year.
Yeah. That's interesting.
And it kind of checks out too, because he had surgery in either late June or July. I don't feel like you should be able to miss the whole season if you're.
Yeah. Honestly, I think him playing would have been a good thing for us.
Yeah.
But
I was gonna say Ali Khalifa, Burj Khalifa, Mia Khalifa. Cat's gonna get it done.
Lakers in 5.
Yeah, Cats in 5.
That was a crazy one. I mean, we're unhinged today. What's going on today?
It's Thursday. Remember Thursday
today after dark. Yeah, see, we're in a good mood on Thursdays. We really are. If you want to drink a beer with the Wildcats Today crew, you're going to want to do it on Thursday.
Thursday night at Banners.
Exactly. Speaking of banners, we hung one last night. But yeah, that this is just going to be this season of Kentucky basketball. I seriously, all kidding aside, I wake up just excited for this basketball season. And I was excited about last season, but as we've discussed, those expectations weren't as high. The expectations were, let's have an okay season and build for the future. Well, we're at the future now. And I wake up every day upset that Mark Stoops is going to inevitably break my heart per usual.
I was going to say, remember, excited for a motivated Mark Stoops.
No, talk about motivated. I'm barely motivated enough to walk to go to the bathroom in the morning. I mean, that's motivated. My goodness, I'm motivated to hit the under on our line on FanDuel. Smack that.
What was it? 4.5? You think we get
no?
That?
No.
I think it's right at that
Tennessee
line.
Tech is going to give us a run for it. I don't want to play Tennessee Tech.
I've told people, I say, watch out for Toledo because they're no pushover.
No, sure. Yeah, I know.
First game of the season?
They won't. I don't think we'll beat Vandy in Nashville. I think we go 0 in SEC play, and I think we lose to Louisville. As much as I hate to say that, I think we do. And then I think we win our 3 stupid games.
I think we get 4. I think we sneak one out of the other stinky games.
But I mean, it's just the fact that it's gone from that to that, that is sad.
What I was going to ask you though is when's the last time that it's been like this? Because back in the day, when Joker was here, of course, it was always basketball season. But now it's now it's back to the point where it's basketball season again, and we're
Let's just say you will not be getting a ton of football coverage here on Wildcats Today. We'll get some. We'll maybe cover the first 2 or 3 games, and then it's gonna. Yeah. And then we're getting back to Mark. We're getting back to the good Mark, and that's Mark Pope.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're rooting for Stu. But I've told you, and I'm now at the point where I'm just saying, hey, I hope we have Summerall next year.
Yeah.
And if that means we win 2 games, whatever, man. Bring on Summerall. I don't care.
I mean, if I were them, I would just let's play Bo and see what happens.
Yeah, but that problem is we win 7 or 8 games.
I know Bo. That's the issue. You can't play Bo because then you win 8 games and then you're back.
Yeah, seriously, you cannot do that. So, but man, we're really unhinged today. I don't even know what we're doing at this point, but that's okay. That makes this fun here. Talking a little football, but so yeah, always going to come back. That Louisville thing, it's weird. I don't know.
We'll see how that goes.
I honestly, now you've been in a war on Twitter. I've been seeing that today. I don't think that Pat Kelsey seems like a guy who would try and.
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily Pat Kelsey. He might have just not known, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they could have not known about it. And then that happens. The NCAA tried to screw us over with Big Z. I mean, that's what happens. So it doesn't have to be on Louisville or anybody. Yeah. It just could be a.
Pat Kelsey, honestly, he said it himself. He hadn't seen him. I mean, I don't know how he would know, but That is a funny situation. So, yeah, Kentucky fans go make fun of Louisville on Twitter because they're really upset, and they're going to – I don't even know what they're going to say. But Tennessee's never been to a Final Four.
There you go.
Yeah. So that's kind of the thoughts. But Kam Williams, ladies and gentlemen, go watch the film on him if you haven't already. I'm not seeing the level of excitement for this kid that is deserved. Seriously, every day I see a lot of excitement for JQ, rightfully so. For Jalen Lowe, rightfully so. I mean, you should be excited for these guys, but you should also be really excited for Kam Williams. And you heard it here first. Kam Williams is going to be a star for the Kentucky Wildcats. Carson Nash, any other thoughts before we call it a week here?
Oh, that's all I got. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Did the Batcats end up getting into the tournament or not?
So this is interesting. I have been keeping up a lot with this. So RPI is the KenPom of college baseball.
Yeah.
Let me pull up their RPI. One issue. Do you want to actually? This is really interesting. I did some research on this. No one's talked about it, but the schools surrounding us, Xavier's good, to be fair.
Yeah,
Xavier has a good team.
His team's good.
They talked about hanging a banner. They hung a banner on Beard Eye. But it's this weekend's going to be different. Cameron Coulter dialed in. But
lost.
None of the you got one. You snuck one. We'll play again. But the surrounding schools around us just aren't as good as some of the schools in Florida and in Alabama and in California, so our midweek games aren't, and we've lost a few, to be fair. But when we win them, they aren't helping us a ton. So in RPI, we currently are at 33, and that's good enough to be in the tournament. But I'm just saying, an SEC team, how many SEC teams are below us? And I'd say probably only Missouri. Texas A&M's below us, but that's because they got swept by Missouri, which is
do we play Vandy this weekend?
Yes. So Here's the deal. The point I was trying to get to with this RPI, we have 13 SEC wins. For example, last season, Florida got into the postseason with 13 wins, 13 conference wins, and ended up going all the way to Omaha. We have 13 now. I've seen that our magic number for SEC wins is probably 14 because of our RPI number. I think that sweep of Oklahoma might move us into a spot where those 13 wins are going to get us in. But if you win one this weekend in Nashville, you're in the postseason.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of seeing the same thing because I saw us projected into Coastal Carolina's region as the 3 in that.
And we'll win. We'll win that.
Oh yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like you say all the time, the SEC is here, and every other conference is.
If you just get out, every single team that will be hosting a region that is not here, I can pull this up. Every team that's hosting a regional that's not an SEC team, it's like literally playing basketball against a second grader. I've seen the hosts. Dallas Baptist, Kentucky beats the heck out of them. But because look at this. Okay, you ready for the hosts on this? Was a week ago, but still the hosts: Arkansas, Auburn, Tennessee, LSU, Georgia, Texas, Vandy, Alabama. 8 of the schools are going to be of the regionals will be hosted. Of the 16, half the field will be hosted by SEC teams. But so I'm just telling y'all, if we go to a regional against NC State or Dallas Baptist or North Carolina, they're actually always pretty good. I can't knock them.
NC State, they better get ready to get beat again.
But I'm just telling y'all, if we get out of I believe if we get to the postseason and we aren't going to a SEC region, Kentucky will make a super. You want to hear that right now? And then once you get into super, whatever,
anything can happen.
You'll be playing an SEC team, and whatever happens. You'll more than likely play an SEC team. So
yeah,
I just get there first, win one this weekend in Nashville for good measure. But the Batcats, I do believe, will be in the postseason. So win one. I think they'd be fine if they got swept this weekend, but just win one for good measure. If you win this, if you find a way to win this series at 15-15, you might have a chance to be a 2 seed. I think it would be tough. I think you'd probably need 16 SEC wins to be a 2 seed. We'll probably be a 3 seed but if you win the series, you have an outside shot to be a 2 seed. Outside, but a shot. So just go win the damn series or sweep them. That'd be great. If you sweep them, you're for sure a 2 seed. So
heck yeah.
Any other thoughts, Carson, before we get out of here?
That's all I got. It was a good one today.
Well, I think that maybe it was a terrible one, and that's what made it good. Beach had a good time. Hey, we're just here talking about bull crap. Part of fun.
Talking ball.
Just talking a little ball, little round ball, little oval ball, a little bigger round ball. That's how we roll.
Andrew likes all the balls.
See, that's going to be cut out. All right. That is going to do it for today's episode of the Wildcats Today podcast. Appreciate y'all being here. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and we'll see you next week right here on the Wildcats Today podcast.